A billionaire sat in a cheap roadside diner watching a young guy frantically answering emails on his phone while his coffee went cold. The billionaire, let's call him Marcus, had built a $1 billion empire in logistics and software. The young guy, Daniel, owned a digital marketing agency that was supposedly pretty successful. But the dark circles under Daniel's eyes and the way his hands trembled while gripping his phone. He didn't look like an owner, he looked like a prisoner. Marcus leaned forward from the booth next to him and asked a simple question that would change the course of Daniel's life forever. He asked, if you left your business today and went to some faraway island for 6 months without your phone or laptop, would your business be bigger or smaller when you got back? Daniel let out a dry, hopeless laugh and said, "Sir, if I don't reply to this email in the next 10 minutes, we'll lose a client. If I disappeared for 6 months, there'd be no business left. I am the business." This is the trap that 99% of entrepreneurs fall into. They think they've built a business, but in reality, they've just created a 24-hour high-stress job for themselves. They're not business owners, they're just workers who sign their own paychecks. Marcus slid into the booth across from Daniel. He said, "That's because you're trying to build a masterpiece when you should be building a machine. You're trying to be a genius. But wealth isn't built by geniuses. Wealth is built by systems. Look at this diner. Look at the kitchen." Daniel looked. Everything was chaotic. The cook was yelling, orders were getting mixed up, and the waitress was running around in a panic. Marcus pointed across the street to the Golden Arches. McDonald's. Now look at that McDonald's. The food is average. Most of the staff are teenagers with zero business experience. The location is busy, but there's peace. The owner probably isn't even in the city, maybe not even in the country. Yet that machine prints money every single day, as sure as the sun rises. Why? Because Ray Kroc didn't build a restaurant. He built a system. The problem with most intelligent people is they rely on their talent. Daniel was a brilliant marketer. He wrote the best copy, designed the best funnels, and created the best strategies. Because he was so good, he felt like he had to do everything himself to maintain quality. This is the technician's curse. As long as your business depends on your talent, it can't scale. It can't be sold. It's not an asset. It's a liability that eats your time. Marcus explained the strategy that turned a burger stand into a global empire, and it applies to any business, whether you're selling software, consulting, landscaping, or furniture. It's called the franchise prototype model. You need to build your business like you're going to make 5,000 copies of it, even if you never plan to open a second location. You need to design it so that the least skilled people can run it using systems that guarantee the highest quality. Daniel was skeptical. He said, "But my clients pay for my expertise. I can't just hand this off to some junior employee with a checklist." Marcus shook his head. "That's your ego talking. Everything you do, no matter how creative, has a process. You just haven't documented it. You haven't extracted that system from your brain. Here's the truth about building wealth. Yeah, you don't get rich by working. You get rich by designing systems that work." Marcus gave Daniel a challenge. For the next 3 months, Daniel was forbidden from doing any client work. His only job was to document how he does what he does. He had to create standard operating procedures, SOPs. Reluctantly, Daniel started. He broke down his complex marketing strategy into steps. Step 1, client onboarding. He realized he asked every new client the same 20 questions. He turned it into a digital form. Step 2, market research. He realized he used the same 4 tools every time. He created a checklist. Step 3, ad copy creation. He discovered he used 5 specific templates depending on the client's industry. He documented those templates. The work was exhausting, boring. It felt like he was slowing down, but he was laying the foundation for a skyscraper. Once the manual was written, Marcus told him to hire 2 junior employees. Not experts, not gurus, just smart, hungry young people who could follow instructions. Daniel handed them the manual. He called it the agency operating system. The first week was rough. Mistakes happened. Daniel wanted to jump in and fix them, but Marcus stopped him. "If they fail," Marcus said, "it's not because they're stupid. It's because your system is broken. Fix the system, not the person." So Daniel tweaked the manual. He added screenshots. He added video tutorials. He made the instructions so clear that misunderstanding them was impossible. Then something magical happened. In the second month, those 2 junior employees managed an entire campaign for a new client on their own. The results were 90% as good as what Daniel would have done himself. But here's the real math. Daniel used to charge $5,000 and spend 40 hours doing the work. His effective hourly rate was $125. Now he paid the junior employees $25 per hour. They spent 40 hours as per cost $1,000, revenue still $5,000, profit $4,000. But Daniel spent 0 hours completing the work. His effective hourly rate for that project was now infinite. This was the moment the light bulb went off in his head. Daniel realized he'd been thinking about business completely wrong. He stopped selling his time and started selling his system's output. He started viewing his business like a product, just like McDonald sells the franchise system to operators. Daniel turned his agency into a turnkey operation. He fixed his pricing. He fixed his packages. No more custom proposals for every new customer. You want the gold package. Here's exactly what you get. Here's exactly what it costs, and here's the system that will deliver it. This is the power of productization. When you customize everything, you have no leverage. When you standardize, you build a machine. 6 months later, Daniel met Marcus at the same diner. Daniel looked different. The dark circles under his eyes were gone. He wore a relaxed polo shirt. He didn't check his phone once. Marcus asked, dipping a French fry in ketchup. So if you went to that island now, what would happen? Daniel smiled. I just got back from spending 3 weeks in Italy. While I was gone, my team onboarded 10 new clients. We broke our revenue record without me sending a single email. Daniel had scaled because he had a system. He could hire more people. He didn't need to find rock stars who demanded high salaries and equity. He needed reliable operators who could run his machine. He even expanded from digital marketing into e-commerce management just by applying the same documentation strategy. He created a new manual, hired a new team, and plugged them in. Most people spend their entire lives climbing the corporate ladder or building a job cage for themselves. They think the goal is to get paid more for their time. But a billionaire knows the truth. The real goal is to completely separate your time from your income. McDonald's doesn't have the world's best chefs. They have the best systems, and that's why they serve 9 million people a day while the 5-star chef across the street is stressed out, yelling at his assistant, and terrified that if he gets sick, the restaurant will close. You have to choose. Do you want to be the artist, or do you want to own the gallery? Do you want to be the chef, or do you want to own the franchise? Daniel chose to be the owner. He stopped treating his business like his baby and started treating it like an asset. He optimized the numbers. He focused on customer acquisition cost and lifetime value. He realized that once operations were automated, his real job was just capital allocation and strategy. That year, he made $2 million in net profit working less than 10 hours a week while his systems handled all the heavy lifting. Systems work, people sleep. If this story opened your eyes to what's possible when you stop selling time for money and start building real systems, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button right now. We're building a community of business builders, not job seekers. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss the strategies that separate owners from workers. And if you learned something here, drop a comment below and tell me which business strategy resonated with you the most. Let's build wealth together.